You know, I'll be honest, I didn't intend on making this video, but you know what they say, when life gives you lemons. And by lemons, I mean makes your back left window fall into the door when you're on the highway an hour away from home and it's raining, you fix it. Otherwise, Ohio's heroin addicts might just figure out there's a hole in your car and nothing good happens then. Well, hi, my name is Michael, and in today's episode of Michael Talks Cars, I'm going to use this opportunity that some engineer named Hans has bestowed upon us to teach you not just how to fix one specific issue with one specific model, but rather generally how power windows work, and thus how you can diagnose and fix ones on your own car that have beaten you to the punch on giving up on life. And guess what? Good news, everyone! Car windows are about as complex as the plot of The Room. So not very. Oh, hi, Mark. So there's three main components of a power window, generally speaking. You have the glass, which is sandwiched between two smooth slides that keep it in the frame. You can think of it like one of those bagel cutters thingies. You have a motor, and then you have what's called a regulator, which connects to the bottom of the pane of glass and the motor and turns the motor's spinny into window uppy. And depending on your car, your regulator could look like a geared arm with teeth, or a scissor mechanism, or a track and pulley. Also, sometimes your motor, the expensive bit, will be replaceable separately from the regulator assembly, and other times you'll have to buy the entire $200 assembly together, even if it's just one 50-cent plastic clip that broke. I wonder who they learned that from. So knowing this, let's diagnose this car. Test number one. When you flip the switch, do you hear the motor running? Yes. So our motor is probably running, and our glass isn't broken, so I told you this isn't rocket science. Now, just for you at home, if you didn't hear the motor running, then your motor is probably the problem. You know, it could be shot, it could have just come disconnected, or it realized that Canada sells ketchup-flavored Doritos and it's fucked off to our better half. Test number two, do your front and back switches do the same thing? Now, this one might sound a little bit silly. You're probably thinking, Michael, it's my window that doesn't work. I should be diagnosing my window. But you know, it's entirely possible that your window does work and it's actually your switches that are the problem. Now, I've already done my research and I know that the back windows of E90s have a setup that looks like this. So you'll notice that it's the track and pulley, which means that likely either the pulley has come undone or it's broken or there's a plastic piece that's broken. As long as it's not a broken pulley, I think that we can fix this without buying anything, which would be pretty great because, you know, I already spend too much money. So to verify that, let's get this door card off by looking up how to get this door card off. It's like YouTube tutorial recursion. I do this just to be clear that I don't break anything. Not that I would know anything about breaking plastic clips on BMWs, and not that I'm one broken plastic clip away from buying a Ford. So here I'm just removing the door card. I'd liken this to filling in a blank map of the United States where, you know, the states are bolts and clips. So my point being, does anyone really know where New Hampshire is? Maybe you should just use the internet. In my case, you can see it's just some Torx screws, some plastic clips, and then the door handle and window switch connectors. So the regulator's out. Now, it might be a little bit difficult to understand what's going on here in its completely disassembled state, but really it's pretty simple. Plastic piece, other plastic piece that should be part of the first plastic piece. Now, rather than buying a new one, which would be stupid because it would just break the exact same way again in the future, I'm actually going to fix this using plastic epoxy, and my secret sauce is that I'm going to actually cut a little piece of sheet metal and bend it to shape, and then bond that to the side of it as well, so that this never happens again. So as you can see, I didn't have tin snips, so I'm pulling out the big dog. I'm scuffing the metal here so that it bonds better in theory. So this is our repair. You can see the gray on the side. That's actually primer over top of that metal brace that I made. You know, it's not very pretty, but you know, neither am I, and I haven't cracked in half yet. So let's just put this thing back together and see how she rips. Right here, the simple act of trying to wind a tensioned cable around a reel while everything is coated in lube was the equivalent of the seventh ring of hell. No! Fuck! Yes! I then put it back in the car, and on my initial trial before everything's back together, this hideous creation actually seems to work. And there we are. Fuck yeah! Now I don't have to hear buffeting every time I drive, and I can stop shopping at Whole Foods and go to Walmart again, and I don't have to get wet every time I go to a John Mayer concert. By the rain, that is. Moment of truth.